the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. In this game, we'll see the Chicago Bulls against the Houston Rockets at Toyota Center. The Rockets have to feel pretty good about their recent play. It's been a fantastic season for them, and this could be one of its most memorable nights, as a win here gives them the best record in the league. And here we are late in the season. Shaq, for the teams at the very bottom of the standings, there can be a tendency to give up on yourself and a desire to dial things back, I guess. Pack it in. This happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it happens, but no great coach would stand for that. Nor with great players. You just gotta, dig yourself out the hole, Ernie. You gotta keep fighting. You know what they should do?
What's that?
Go watch Hoosiers. Ooh. The Gene Hackman speech should get them going.
Okay, you think that would work on an NBA player?
I think it would. Picket fence, baby, picket fence.
Sometimes you just can't give that all-out intensity because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can only see the light right in front of your face.
Yeah.
And, you got to give those bench guys some more minutes at this time.
Let's send it down to Kevin Harlan.
It's the land of mission control, Houston, Texas, where the Rockets are ready to engage in an interconference showdown. Welcome, everyone, to Noche Enavia. A Latin theme is the backdrop to tonight's festivities. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And giving us the rundown from the sideline, David Aldridge. The Bulls are in the midst of a road trip going into this one. Right now, they are way down in the standings, just 12th place in the conference.
Yeah, and Kevin, things are starting to get a little bit out of control for them. This losing streak is starting to become an embarrassment, and it's only going to get worse if things don't change.
And before this game gets going, let's send it over to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Fred Hoiberg. David.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion was defense. He said they're dealing with a very sophisticated offense, and it's going to require an outstanding effort from his players at the defensive end to come out on top. Let's see if that's the effort they get. Guys?
Okay, David, thanks. Clark, I know that teams that are out of the playoff race are looking for things to hold on to, things to focus on as they wind their seasons down.
Yeah, it's a chance to reinforce good habits. It's a chance to maybe give minutes to younger players to see what you have in them and how they're going to approach the situation they're in. Nothing to play for currently, but are they still going to be professional and work to improve? Looking at how they handle the little things, the attention to detail, the preparation, the readiness to play, the carrying out of assignments on the court. All of that is valuable as you look to build your team for what's ahead.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So for Chicago right now, Markkanen and Lopez are together down low. Zach LaVine is out there with Payne, and it's Valentine, and at the three, the small forward. And it's Houston on the break. Here's Harden, and he finished it off with a lay-in. Harden's got his second basket.
And, Harden's exceptional, Kevin, at getting out on the break in transition. I mean, running exactly the right path and getting it done.
Stolen by Harden. Shoots over Markkanen. Harden, no good. Now the Bulls with it. 4-point game. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
They're the visiting team. It's a loud arena, very distracting at times, but simply no excuse for missing a ton of free throws.
And you know what, Greg? I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, this is the NBA, the best league in the world. You got to block things out and focus on the task at hand.
Here's Payne. After Clint Capella's bucket to the middle, Lopez drops in the layup for two. Lopez has got his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Outside, LaVine. Out of bounds, Bulls ball as Chicago keeps possession. Payne with it. Chris Paul covering. Markkanen kicks to Payne. Rebounded by Tucker. The Rockets have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. And it's Capella missing.
That's a good shot. Even though it couldn't find the bottom of the bucket, I like the shot quality.
The shot by Valentine, no good.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Paul. And it's 6 points for James Harden.
You've got to be mindful of Harden at all times, especially when he's close to the basket. I mean, he really knows how to finish inside.
LaVine wide open. And a miss there on the triple. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Bulls have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game.
And that layup is usually going in, especially when the defense is as lazy as that.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It's on Lauri Markkanen.
Well, you look at a player of Harden's ability, and a couple of things stand out for me. One is his competitive spirit. He's understated, but he's very competitive. He doesn't take nights off. He's a guy who really takes pride in showing up and playing every game.
2 shots.
First one falls for him. And to illustrate Harden's competitive nature, last season he famously said, "I just want to hoop. I'll rest when I'm done." You know, Clark, that's exactly what you want to hear from your team leader.
Yeah, you love hearing that. Owning the responsibility of leading and showing up all the time. And Harden, heavily depended upon by his team, gives you everything he has every night. Not super flashy, but very competitive and driven.
And both free throws good for James Harden. And the Rockets play at one of the highest paces in the NBA. A lot of possessions for both sides as they want as many chances as they can possibly get to score. Clark, when you think about that, how do you prepare for a team like the Rockets if you're their opponent?
Well, there are a couple of things you can do. One is you try to slow them down, and some teams are equipped to do that. Other teams are equally adept at the three, so you match them shot for shot. But the problem with that is Harden is really good in the half court. And even when you take away transition, he can hurt you in the half-court game.
Now, here's Markkanen. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. Shot clock at 5. Ariza brings the double. Here's Valentine. Rebounded by Capella. Rockets leading by 8. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. That pushes it to double digits.
In this first period, they've been aggressive and extremely focused.
Yeah, this is a big lead right now, a big one, and they've seized momentum and showing no signs of letting it go.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Their last encounter was in Chicago.
Yeah, and looking back at their last game against this club, they were badly out-rebounded.
Yeah, and that turned the tide, the rebounding differential. They've got to focus and make it a team effort to really pound the glass. Statistically speaking, let's see where the Rockets sit right now.
And you talk about scoring. Tough to beat a team that can fill it up at all levels. Every time you get a bucket, they're coming right back at you with one of their own.
Bulls trail by 10. And Paul over to help. Payne kicks to Lopez. They set the pick. LaVine for 3. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Capella's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And Harden with the basket on the assist from Capella. And that's now 10 points for James Harden.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Now here's Levine. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change.
Whenever CP3 gets his hands on the ball, you know he's going to turn it up court right away. He loves initiating the break.
Well, Chicago's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Payne kicks to Levine. Again, Levine missing.
Boy, he's holding his team back. Really a hindrance. Can't make a thing. He's way off today.
Paul can't get it to go. Bulls trail by 14. Here's Valentine. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against the Pistons in Detroit. Payne with it. Chris Paul covering. 6 to shoot. Valentine passes to Payne. Over Ariza. And again, Chicago. No good. And here are the Rockets now. They're on an 18-4 run. And Harden with the stuff.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
Timeout. Chicago calls timeout. And you know about Harden's shooting and his ability to get to the line and all that, but you know, Clark, what some people don't realize is just how fast he's going end to end. I mean, he can just blow by players in the open floor.
Yeah, he's got deceptive speed, Kevin, and part of that is how he's worked to change his body from his college days at Arizona State to who he is in the NBA. He slimmed down a bit, but he still has that strength and that barrel-chestedness that allows him to play so well through contact. But you're right, his speed is lethal and deceptive.
Yeah, he's got to make some adjustments here. Just too easy to score in the lane against them right now.
Yeah, there's no reason why they should be scoring at will down there easily as they have. I mean, they've got to be more aggressive inside.
And a quick look at how things have been since the All-Star break, checking out the three-point shot ratio for Houston.
And clearly they haven't been shy about launching it from long range. That's the way the league has been going, and they are certainly embracing that trend.
Tries to snap the cold streak, and the jam by Levine.
Boy, I tell you what, the levitation, the hang time, few players look as light in the air as Levine does. Looks like he's almost walking on air.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Again, Levine missing.
You can see the frustration in the quarter on his face, especially with his team trailing.
And that one, good.
You know, Chris Paul will get his points any way he can. I mean, that's his aggressive nature. CP3, if it means taking it hard to the hoop and handling contact, he's ready for it.
Here's Levine following the basket by Chris Paul. Over Harden. And that one hits back iron.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench if he keeps shooting it like that. He has been putrid here this quarter.
And here's Payne. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And Paul over to help. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ariza. And now let's find out who the top shot blockers are as we check out the real stats, the real scores from the real NBA. The 4th spot held by Clint Capella.
There aren't going to be many nights when you don't see him affect the game with his shot blocking ability.
Payne with it. Chris Paul covering. Markkanen dishes to Valentine. Shot clock at 5. Ariza brings the double. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Lets it fly.
Yeah, a strong defender is Capella. He uses his reach to bother shots and shooters, and I like the commitment he shows at that end of the floor.
Bulls trail by 18. Kicks it to Payne. To the middle. It's tipped. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession.
And a chance to check out the stats for Valentine.
Breaking down his play since the All-Star break. He's putting up about 12 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
Sinks the triple.
And Markkanen, the big fella, has nice court vision, solid at finding open teammates.
Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Here's Payne. After Clint Capella's bucket, there's the pick. And Capella over to help. Left side, Levine. Lays it up and banks it in. Levine's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, big guards with the... Talk about bringing it.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Schooling them right now. Taking them to the woodshed. Super aggressive and owning the paint.
Here's Levine. The Rockets making the shot. Lopez. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist.
Tell you what, when Levine glides off the pick, I mean, you see the defensive attention he draws. Makes for an easy pass to the roller.
And good that time.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
Now, here's Markkanen, and there's the foul. It'll go on P.J. Tucker. That's his first foul. Houston making some changes. Mbahumute comes in for P.J. Tucker, and it's Gordon in for James Harden. Chicago also making some changes. Portis, he's checked in for Lopez. David Nwaba comes in for Denzel Valentine. And it's Jaren Grant in for Cameron Payne. Markkanen can't get it to go. Rockets leading by 17.
And for many years, the Chicago Bulls were viewed as a model franchise. Always were competitive and in the hunt for a title. But this current version just can't escape turmoil from within.
And the quick trigger of Markkanen is impressive. He has such a fluid release, too, especially on these catch-and-shoot jumpers. Has to be disappointing seeing him miss that one, Kevin. I mean, the defense wasn't bad, but still, I think he needs to convert from there.
Levine kicks to Portis. No good from outside. And the Bulls finally committing, Greg, to a full rebuild this last offseason.
Yeah, and trading Butler was the start of it. I mean, they got some young players to build around and a pick, and it won't be an easy road ahead, but one they felt they needed to make. How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
And here are the Bulls now, following the score by Houston. Payne passes to Portis. Off target from three-point range.
And, you know, I have no idea how he missed that one. When there's no defense around, he's usually automatic from there.
Grant against Paul. No good from Grant. Rockets leading by 16. Capella goes in. The rebound by Grant. Pass to Portis. It's rebounded by Paul. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. Well, Swiss center Clint Capella is up there as one of the most efficient players in the league. He's only 22, but he's efficient mostly because all his shots come right at the basket, right on the doorstep. Last season, he finished near the top of the league, in fact, in field goal percentage.
And for a while, he was leading the league, if I recall correctly, Kevin. Capella knows who he is, what he's about, and what his team needs from him. So he finishes off his chances that are created by guards penetrating. Not flashy, but very effective.
No good on the free throw.
Well, I tell you what, it's really impressive how Capella has improved his role so quickly, Kevin. I mean, he's a starting caliber center known for his defense, but continues to make strides on offense, too.
The Rockets making a switch here. Green's checked in, and the Bulls making a change also. Felicio's checked in for Markkanen. Second free throw, no good. And you ask any Houston fan who the greatest player in the history of their franchise is, and they all say Hakeem Olajuwon. Clark, you played against Olajuwon. Just how great a player was he, and what does he mean to this Rockets franchise today?
Boy, he was special. A first ballot Hall of Famer, brought the only titles in franchise history to the Rockets, and could do everything you want from a big guy. Graceful, strong, a presence defensively and on the glass, unselfish. They called him Hakeem the Dream for good reason. That dude was a dream to play with and a nightmare for opponents.
The shot's good from Paul.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Clearly in great rhythm. They've got it going on, I mean, in a big way. Excellent job at establishing a huge lead early on.
Here's Portis following the basket by Chris Paul. Paul with the steal, and it's Houston on the break. And the dunk by Baamute.
Tell you what, Kevin, there aren't many players who would have even seen that pass, but when we're talking about Chris Paul, he's got unique vision, unlike most anybody else.
Now here's Levine. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game. It's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. As we close in on the start of the playoffs, let's see how the East is stacking up. Taking a look at Toronto. Very strong season they've had, always at or near the top of the conference, and right now they're in first place in contention for that, exactly where they want to be as they close in on the postseason. And checking out Chicago, they're at the bottom of the conference.
Yeah, but checking out Chicago, this has been a season I'm sure they'd like to forget. And luckily, they'll be able to do that soon enough.
You know, maybe they'd like to forget it, but there are lessons to take from it as well. I mean, the mistakes they've made this year can't be repeated if they want to get a taste of the postseason anytime soon.
Bulls trail by 19. Pass to Portis. Back to Grant. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
Well, the thing they did there, Greg, clogged up the passing lanes, playing them beautifully and making things hard for the opponent. That's really good defense.
Plenty of space. Hit some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Portis has got 7 points in the game. Here's Gordon. Got a hand on it. Here's Nwaba. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Pistons in Detroit. Grant gets a wide-open look. There's 3-pointers off the mark.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense.
Deep two from Anderson. Makes it off the glass.
And, you know, Anderson is fantastic at sticking with his shot, even when the defense draped all over him.
James Harden getting it done for the Houston Rockets. He caused a lot of headaches with his defense that quarter, coming up with steals again and again. And we'll be right back after this. And as we return, it's Noche Latina, celebrating the NBA's connection to the Latin American community. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for Houston.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
Chicago with the ball. Taking a look at the Bulls. They've got Portis, also Vonleh out there, and it's Felicio in at the 5. Lays it up off the glass. Felicio's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Bulls. And the dunk by Bahamute.
Oh, big finish, emphatic.
He hangs on the rim just for good measure. Wow.
Well, I guess there's nothing wrong with a little bit of showboating here and there.
Here's Nwaba. The Rockets making the shot. And there's the pass to Felicio. Grant with the ball. He's picked up by Paul. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And it's Nwaba missing.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
You always say it, Clark, so much of the game is played inside your mind, between the ears, in your head. Which players jump out to you as being some of the smartest players on the floor?
Kevin, there are so many guys that fall into that category. LeBron James is at the top of the list for me because of how he impacts the game in so many ways at both ends of the floor, and his size and athleticism make him unique. Chris Paul, another guy who has great awareness on the court.
And Bahamute dishes to Anderson. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Grant kicks to Portis. Passes to Felicio. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Felicio's got 6.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
Does it as well as anybody, fellas. Tremendous skill while in the air.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
And love how Paul seeks out his teammates. Superb at slicing the D to pieces with his passing.
Bulls trail by 21. They set the pick. Grant with the ball. He's picked up by Paul. Here's Felicio. And, here, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. The Bulls shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
Guys, their free throw shooting has slipped a bit since last year, but not really to the point where they should be overly concerned about it.
Rockets leading by 18. It's Harden with the drive, and the shot is good. 16 points for him.
Man, I love how easily Harden fills it up. Scores in so many ways, making it look easy.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Ryan Anderson was a free agent before coming to the Rockets. When he was meeting with teams, he saw all the open looks that Houston players were getting from outside, and he wanted to be a part of that. Worked out pretty well, I think, for him.
I don't think you can deny that at all. I mean, perfect hand in glove is what this fit was for Anderson, and he knew that. The way Houston plays, perfect for what Ryan Anderson brings to the table. He's great from the corner or wing and is deadly as a shooter when he has space.
We see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Levine.
And the three ball really hurting them right now, taking way too many bad shots from deep. Yeah, they've had some decent looks, but when it's not falling, it's hurting your cause. I wouldn't say to go away entirely from the three, but they've got to do a better job of only taking a three when it's a great shot.
Bulls trail by 20. Payne kicks to Felicio. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. The Bulls have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
Two-shot.
That one is off. And he sinks the second. And Clark, just how important to a team is it to have a veteran presence on it? Like, how did the vets on the Pacers help you when you were a rookie or young player in the league?
You know what? I think it's invaluable, Kevin. I was a 21-year-old rookie. I left after my junior year at Ohio State. And veteran players, Herb Williams, had been there a year or two. Guys like Billy Knight and George Johnson, Butch Carter were around. And having those guys talk about what it takes, and we were a very young team and had young veterans, but still they were invaluable in terms of giving you an example of how to go about your business to be successful as a pro.
Here's Payne. James Harden picking up that last basket. Payne with it, and it's Harden picking him up. Nwaba passes to Vonleh. In the corner, Valentine with it. Offline with his three.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
The Rockets have split their free throws right down the middle so far. They're 2 for 2. Houston making a switch here. Tucker's checked in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And the versatility Johnson offers, it can't be forgotten. I mean, this is a guy that can play 3 to 4 positions, a lights-out shooter who also has that clutch gene.
Now here's Valentine. He has 6. That one a little long.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
And the basket by Harden.
Tremendous speed on the drive. Harden is consistent in attacking the basket.
Chicago's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Payne kicks to Valentine. And Gordon over to help. Stolen by Tucker. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Gordon's running, and Johnson with the stuff.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Now here's Payne. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Valentine's shot, good.
Well, I liked the first quarter he had. I mean, and I'm loving the second quarter even more. Playing with a lot of momentum right now.
And the shot goes in.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Here's Payne. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Pistons in Detroit.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And here are the Bulls now, and taken away by Johnson. Oh, and here comes Johnson all alone.
Boy, I love Eric Gordon as a combo guard. He's a multi-talented player who can play either guard position.
Chicago's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Johnson over to help. In the corner, Valentine with it. The three. And Eric Gordon pulls it down. Gordon's got 3 rebounds now in this one. A shot by Johnson, no good.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
The shot by Valentine, no good. Valentine's gone 3 of 9 tonight from the field, 33%. And Johnson missing again. The Bulls have gone 7 of 13 from the field since the start of the second. Valentine dishes to Payne. And the Bulls with another miss.
He must hit that shot. I mean, the defense, non-factor. Very surprising he missed it.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Well, constantly finding lanes to the basket, getting great looks inside.
Jump on, pull it. You two players.
And so here is Houston. Harden the pass to Johnson. Shoots from 12. Doesn't go that time. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. They get to take on the Heat at Miami after this one. They're in the midst of a 4-game road trip right now. That'll be game number 3. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
And how about the fast hands and then getting right out in transition?
Well, turning defense into offense, Greg. Outstanding effort there. Swiped it away with ease, and off they went.
Valentine wide open. He fires. Back to Payne. Johnson over to help. Knocked away. Pass to Nwaba. To the wing right side. The feed to Payne. Clock at 6. Pass to Felicio. And he gets it to go. Felicio's got 12.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
Here's Johnson. Felicio with a rebound. Bulls have gone 8 of 16 from the field in the second quarter. A nice efficient 50%. Valentine. And it's off from three-point range.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Houston. Riza comes in for Johnson. Chicago also making some changes. Lopez, he's checked in for Felicio. Markkanen comes in for Noah Vonleh. And Levine subbed in for David Nwaba.
Love when Harden uses that great leaping ability to finish with power.
And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Now, here's Capella. A 14-point game for him in the win against Atlanta. And the basket by Gordon.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in. Yeah, you chronicle the career of Trevor Ariza. You know, he came into the league primarily as a slasher and transition scorer and a good defender. He's done a nice job reinventing his game as he's gotten older. And now he's much more of a 3-and-D type player, impacting both ends of the floor.
Chicago making a switch here. Grant's checked in. And the basket by Harden. Harden's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Evan, there's no stopping him right now. I mean, he's locked in this quarter. This defense has to get the ball out of his hand.
And Ariza is certainly Clark of the 3-and-D mold as a veteran. That is often what players on the perimeter need to do, is Their athleticism starts to decline.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Ariza can still run the floor and occasionally punch it down on you. There's no question about that. You know, it's just now the bulk of his contributions come off knocking down threes. He's had a very long and productive career and has really done a nice job of adapting to whatever his team needs from him.
They get it back. A nice shot by Tucker. Tucker's got 6 points.
And, you know, that's the hustle and nose for the ball that P.J. Tucker possesses. You've got to get a body on him.
Lopez a screen. Out to the wing. Here's Valentine. No good on the triple.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with 2 hands on that stuff.
Yeah, highly efficient. Nothing extra special there. Just effective.
That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. 12 points for him.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Ariza with the bucket.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Here's Levine following the score by Trevor Ariza.
And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one.
Yeah, as a former outstanding rebounder myself, I can certainly appreciate what this guy is doing. An extraordinary combination of talent and desire is what allows him to do what he's done today. Great performance.
So it's Chicago now. The Rockets making the shot. Levine, he gets it in there.
Well, this is what you admire about Levine's offensive game now. I mean, it isn't all threes and dunks. He's got some meat on that sandwich now.
A nice shot by Tucker.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Levine can't hit. And for Houston, their shooting has been out of this world. 74% from the field. And the shot goes down. And it's now 26 points for James Harden.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Rebound by the Bulls. Floats one, and out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And here are the Rockets now. And the dunk by Capella.
Outstanding presence of mind. Harden is constantly looking for the open shooter.
Now, here's Grant. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Pistons in Detroit.
And even while he was piling up all those points, he still found a way to create chances for his teammates. The assists just kept on coming.
Yeah, and those illegal screens have really become a point of emphasis for the officials.
And it seems like they've been more than willing to crack down on those. Makes it tough to get as physical as you'd like to out there.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. And so it's Houston, enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Joe, you really came out on fire tonight. Did you feel like you needed to do more?
I'm just trying to be more assertive, man, on both ends of the court. You know, I think everybody has to step up, so I'm just trying to do my part.
You did that and more, Joe. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith. That's Shaquille O'Neal. Thanks for joining us. And boy, a pumped-up home crowd is behind us right now. James Harden was the man in the first. He ended up with 26 points, 6 assists, and 6 steals. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
Well, they just about ran their offense to perfection. They pounded the ball inside, and the entry feeds were on time and on the money. It was a clinic to watch. The second half is going to be no contest if they keep getting shots 8 feet and in.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, they were playing like it was Christmas, Ernie, giving up a lot of turnovers. There's no excuses for the turnover numbers, sloppy ball handling. They looked out of control, and the execution was all over the place.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
As we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself in a role you're not comfortable with, but his passing in the first half really was impressive.
Yeah, and you know, he accumulated a lot of assists, and I liked how unselfish he was, Greg.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Now Levine, Paul and Harden, the star-studded backcourt. Trevor Ariza out there with P.J. Tucker, and it's Capella in at the 5 spot. They're the group for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Lopez, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Oh, what terrific hustle. He's got a nose for the rebound.
Craig, he's ferocious when the ball goes up.
That's what they've got him out there for, fellas.
Now here's Payne, defended by Paul. For 3, Levine, good on the triple. Levine's got 12.
You know, one of the great strengths of Coach D'Antoni, to me, Kevin, is he really gives his players a lot of confidence. And his philosophy really clicks with players. They're comfortable playing for him. They know their responsibilities, and they play hard for D'Antoni.
For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. From the arc, Rockets with the rebound. Capella's got 11 rebounds in the game. Here's Tucker. Nice D from Levine.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
Yeah, excellent extension on the block. Superb timing as well to swat that one away.
Now here's Payne, defended by Paul. Levine for 3. Again, Levine missing. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
Lightning move off the dribble. No one can slide over in time. He beat the help. Results in Levine getting free throws.
And one of the pieces of the Jimmy Butler trade this offseason, Zach LaVine finds himself as a prime building block for a rebuilding team. The Bulls see him as a star of the future.
And rightfully so, even given the fact that he's recovering from the ACL surgery. LaVine is young and can grow his game with the team. Hard to get fair value for a player of Butler's ability, but LaVine is a great place to start.
And the first one at the line is good.
In the NBA draft a few years ago, some people said LaVine was a reach at the 13th pick. Now he looks like a value get.
He hits both from the stripe. Clark, in your rookie season in the NBA, did you ever have a welcome to the NBA moment? You know, a play or a sequence where you were brutally introduced to how unforgiving the NBA can truly be?
Yeah, how about my first night out? Spencer Haywood ran me in circles, and I shot 2 for 17, scored 6 or 8 points, and he was in my head from the very beginning. Thankfully, the Pacers won that game because it was a forgettable night other than that. But Spencer Haywood, even to this day, when I bump into him, reminds me of how he disrupted me and distracted me in that first game of my rookie season.
Buries it from three-point range.
And I think that's mere target practice for Levine. Now, warm-up jumpers is what I call them. He's really improved in the catch-and-shoot game. That was some slick passing from Harden on that one.
A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Inside, it's stolen by Capella. And they're on the break. Here's Tucker. Finished off the break. Tucker's got 6 points in the quarter.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Payne kicks to Markkanen. Outside, Levine. Off target with his 3. For Houston, they've gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Harden. Here's Capella. Scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Now here's Levine. 17 points in the game. Drills the three-pointer.
And now he's starting to get it going. 4 3-pointers in the game for him, and 3 have come in this half.
Sheer power there from Capella. Not an easy guy to contain when he's going up with the shot.
The Bulls have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. It's stolen by Capella. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Zach LaVine. The Rockets shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line. Two.
And the first one at the line is good. Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Chicago. David Nwaba comes in for Levine. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. Chicago has gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. Now the dish to Valentine. And it's off the back rim, no good.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain-neutral position.
Payne with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Good. Nice play there from Vonleh.
And those are 2 teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Nwaba passes to Markkanen. And there's the foul. It goes on Ryan Anderson. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for the Rockets. And the Bulls making a change also. Felicio's checked in for Markkanen. Rockets on defense. Knocks it loose. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Anderson. And a look here at the shot chart for the Rockets.
Well, just look at the cluster in the middle of the paint. That right there tells you all you need to know about how they have built the lead they have. They are playing with more intensity on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the difference in the game right now. You have to love how they've approached this matchup.
And there's the foul. It goes on Ryan Anderson. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
That foul gives him 4, so he's got to settle down a bit.
And here is Valentine. 12 points for him. Clock at 6. That's tipped. Stolen by Anderson.
TO number 5 for him in the game, and that's way too high of a number for any one player.
I like seeing Anderson take it strong to the rim. I mean, deceptive quickness from the big man there.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. Now, here's Valentine. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. And the pass to Felicio. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Some high-scoring teams in the NBA. Let's see the leaders. In second, the Rockets.
And how about the year they've had offensively? This is a team that can put points on the board in a hurry. Always fun to watch them play.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
That one is off. And he sinks the second. The Rockets shooting just phenomenal here tonight. 73% from the field. That one good for 2. 6 points for Ariza.
Man, love the size Ariza has down low, using his long arms to get off shots inside.
Feeds it to Valentine. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Those 3-point bombs will erase the deficit quickly if they can keep it up.
And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
And you know, Greg, it's hard to ask for much more than that because they're getting to their spots and they're knocking down the shots.
And finished off by Anderson.
They're getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
This is to Valentine. Passes to Nwaba. And Harden comes to help. Stolen by Anderson. Down low, Johnson. Score the basket, his 8th. 8 for 13 from the floor. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Rockets.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, and also the way they've been able to generate points off of the turnovers that they forced tonight has also helped. And a sturdy screen set for him that time, and he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one, that's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
The Bulls have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7.
Two shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Mbaamute's checked in for Johnson. Gordon comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Green in for James Harden. He doesn't get the second one.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
That's exactly when you need to be aggressive, Greg. You know that. I mean, another good job, though, of drawing contact and getting to the free throw line.
Here's Grant following the score by Houston. Aston Nwaba powered down after the assist, let him into the lane.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
You know, Kevin, when you think of what a stretch four looks like, one of the first guys that comes to my mind is Ryan Anderson. Excellent shooting touch, and his shot looks like a smaller guy's shot with the mechanics being so perfect. He's been making threes from the very start of his NBA career.
Green kicks to Gordon. Lets it go with the three. Sinks the triple. Gordon's got 7.
And really, the three-point shot is Gordon's specialty, Kevin. When he squares himself up, there's a real high chance he's dropping it in.
And Anderson is such a great shooter from outside. Also, at this point in his career, is a high-character locker room presence. Clark, a great veteran leader.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. I mean, just another reason why he's so valuable. I mean, he's shown his entire career that he's reliable as an outside shooter. Exactly the kind of player that stretches the defense and creates opportunities for his teammates on offense.
Here's Payne after Eric Gordon's bucket to the inside. And it's Mwaba missing. Goes up the baseline. Here's Green. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Green's got 4 this quarter.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
Yeah, you know, continue to pour it on them. That's what they want to do right now. Doing their best to put this game out of reach and in the win column.
Portis in the post. He's against Mbamute. Got a piece of it. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
All right, a chance to check out the stats for Payne. How last month turned out for him. He's putting up 9 points a game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And you look at those numbers, not bad, but guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
And he has high expectations for himself as well, guys, but he just hasn't delivered fully on his potential yet.
The Bulls making a switch here. Levine's checked in. Green against Levine. Green, no luck. Chicago has gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. And it's Mwaba missing. Gordon against Grant. He drains the quick shot. And 11 points for Eric Gordon. The Bulls shooting 47% since getting things started in the third quarter. There's 1:54 left in the third quarter. Levine dishes to Grant. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got his 3rd assist on the night. This has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of extending their lead and maintaining that intensity level. Beautiful reverse jam right there.
Use the rim to protect the ball, I think.
Outstanding awareness and a terrific finish.
And here are the Bulls now. The Rockets making the shot. And Paul over to help. The tray. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
The steal. Outside, Levine. Pass to Mwaba. Here's Portis. That 3 off the mark. Portis has got 1 3-pointer tonight in 4 tries. Offensive rebound. And they pick up 2. And Mbamute has got 14.
He does not play the score. I mean, he's going to continue to work his tail off on the glass and make plays just like that.
And plays like that have really taken the energy out of those defenders. I mean, you can bet he's going to continue to keep pushing in that area.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
The Bulls have made 2/3 of their free throws tonight. 6 of 9 to be exact.
Shooting 2.
He misses the free throw. Houston making a switch here. Capella's checked in. Lopez, he's checked in for Chicago. Good on the second free throw. Here's Paul. 10 points for him. Here is Mbamute. Right through the D for the layup. Mbamute has got 4 points in the quarter.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Paul against Grant. On the wing, Levine launches it. Hands it from downtown. Levine's got 26.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
The Bulls have converted 7 of 11 free throw attempts up to this point in the game.
Two shots.
First free throw is good. So both teams changing it up here. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. And Tucker kicks to Green. And it's Green with the jam.
Yeah, just a simple one-hand flush.
I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what it looked like to me. I mean, he was way up there.
And so it's the Houston Rockets holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back right after this. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. And here are the Rockets on the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. We've got Robin Lopez. Grant is out there with Omer Ashik. And it's Holiday in at the 2 guard. And Chicago shooting 43% from the floor. Grant the pass to Ashik. And there's Lopez. That's good on the assist by Grant. Grant's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. And it's Gordon missing. Here's Zipser. And the 3 off target. And here are the Rockets now. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. And that game concludes a 5-game homestand.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Greg, they keep pulling up and watching them go down. It's a really nice thing to see.
Now here's Lopez. He kicks to Holiday. Rebound by Nene.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
And he might be small for a center, but boy, can he jump out of the building.
For Chicago, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Here's Black, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Here's Holiday, following the score by Houston. Ashik the screen for Holiday. Shot clock at 6. That's tipped. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. So for the Rockets, Johnson, he's checked in for Mbamute. And it's James Harden in for Gordon. And the Bulls making a change here as well. Vonleh's checked in. Here's Harden. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Harden's got 32 points.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Grant kicks to Zipser. Outside Holiday. There's a screen. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Grant, that's good. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Goes up on the high post. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. Chicago has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. He dishes it to Vonleh. And Holiday kicks to Asik. It's deflected. And here they come. Here's Johnson. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. More and more we see coaches resting players to keep them from getting overworked. The benefits, Clark, are clear for the players, but is it something that is getting overused?
I don't know if overused is the right word, Kevin. I don't like to see it as much because I think there are other ways you can rest players. Games can be part of your strategy, but how about practices being more a part of how you rest players? It got an awful lot of attention this past season, and for good reason. And I would think the coaches and players will adjust because it's not a good optics for your viewing public and your paying patrons to just arbitrarily do it. I understand it, but I think there's a balancing act that could be performed that would make it not appear as disruptive to the fans as it was this past season.
He hits the second from the line. For Chicago, they've gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6.
Jump ball. You too.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. Rockets have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. It falls for basket number 9 from the field. He's taken 14 shots to get there.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
And it's Houston's ball. They're on a 13-5 run. Here's Nene. That one misses. Now Chicago takes it the other way. And Asha kicks to Grant. It's good from long range. Grant's got 6 here in this quarter. Rockets have gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. And Clark, we've heard the term empty stats for players that put up big numbers but didn't impact the game to the same level of those numbers. What do you think about empty stats?
I'm mixed on empty stats. Clearly some stats impact winning more than others, but in this day of analytics, some of the stats that apparently document impacting winning may be overdone as well. Statistics are statistics. They're part of the game, and you evaluate them in the context of a number of variables. So they're here to stay. Empty is probably too strong because they're part of the game. Got to give the defense credit. That was a great contest on a high percentage shot in the paint.
Puts up a 3. The Rockets pull it in. Harden outside. Fires for 3. Drains the three-pointer. Harden's got 35.
And Harden is a smart player. I mean, when the defense isn't right on him, he makes them pay. Love seeing him shoot that pull-up. Nice.
Now here is Holiday. He feeds it to Grant. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. That's 10 points for Jaren Grant.
Boy, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
And Kevin, lots of standing around and watching by the defense that time.
And he makes them pay, doesn't he, Greg? Huh? With that emphatic slam.
And guys, that'll get his heart rate up a little bit, I can tell you that. Watch out. He can be a dangerous player when his motor is revved up that way.
Grant with the ball. He's guarded by Johnson. Grant kicks to Vonleh. Black grabs the board. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kill, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
Now here is Holiday. Asik with a screen on Green. And Holiday, here we go. And Holiday throws it down.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time, and he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one, that's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
Here's Holiday after Joe Johnson's score. There's a screen. Poked loose. Holiday against Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Clark, when you played, you were the classic power forward. Forwards now are asked to do so much in terms of skill set on the floor. Just how much has that forward position changed in the last few decades?
You know, in some ways, Kevin, it's become a little more specialized. I mean, you have wing players now that fall into that small forward category. But guys between 6'6" and 6'10" now are playing on the wing, which means you've got to be able to move your feet and defend. Versatile players at that position. You've got to be able to handle the ball and make plays ideally, get shots, score the ball, and rebound effectively. So that's always been, I thought, the 2 and 3 positions, which are wings now. Those positions are the most demanding in the league in terms of both sides of the ball. The power forward position has become somewhat like that now because of the size and versatility and skill set of so many of those bigger players. But I think the demands are pretty much the same. The one thing that changed is the fact that you have to play out on the floor more and in space, which means you've got to be a little more athletic if you're going to be part of a small ball lineup.
Here's Green. No good off the back of the rim.
I thought he had the space to shoot comfortably there, and disappointed that he missed it.
And the Bulls with another miss. They are enjoying the commanding lead.
And it really gives them the opportunity to give their starters a rest. Always critical when you get ready for that home stretch.
Thinking back to the great Warrior team from last year, Clark, how do you place them in a historical context for what they accomplished?
Well, they're on a short list of one of the great teams of all time in terms of winning a championship and what they did throughout the season to do so. You'd have to consider them as one of the outstanding teams in the history of the NBA.
The first free throw is good. And recently the NBA changed it so announcers for teams no longer get a vote in league awards. Not an easy decision for the league to make, Clark.
No, it wasn't an easy one, but I can understand that. There's always the potential for bias when you're associated with a particular team, but there's also some expertise that you no longer have now because of that rule. So it's a delicate balancing act, and I don't mind at least giving it a shot for the league to do it this way.
Here's Felicio, poked loose. It's stolen by Green. Here's Anderson. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock.
Anderson always on the verge of exploding. When he's hot, you got to make sure you keep feeding him the rock.
Knocks it loose. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. And he finished it off with the lay-in. Harden's got 11 points here in just the second half.
Just giving up way too many transition opportunities.
You know, it's okay to give up a few if you're getting them back on the other end, but that hasn't been the case here.
Zipser kicks to Holiday. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Payne can't hit. Rocket shooting has been just uncontainable, 72%. Here's Green. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
He's been much more effective in the second half than he was in the first.
Here's Payne. And just miss after miss right now.
It's just been a brutal outing for him. He still hasn't managed to make a shot, and the team is struggling because of it.
And the NBA has tinkered with the All-Star voting in recent years. Fans no longer get 100% of the say for the starters. Clark, how do you feel about that change?
I like it. I mean, again, the fans desire to be involved and should have an opportunity to be engaged in the voting because they're so important to the success and popularity of the league. So I like the fans having a piece of the vote. 100% is far too much, so I think the fact that you've got it weighted between fans and those who follow the league closely, along with coaches, is about the right blend to me.
And so it's Houston with it. The Bulls getting the bucket. Johnson gets the bucket.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Here's Holiday. Here's the screen. The shot comes out, and it's Houston the other way.
You know, Kevin, his team is struggling a bit right now. I mean, I hope he can find his rhythm and start making his shots out there soon. Otherwise, ...
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Here's Payne, following the score by Houston. That's good from Holiday on the assist from Payne.
Tell you what, it does not matter who's shooting. The defense has got to be better at getting a hand up on long-range shooters. You've got to challenge the shot.
The three. Another shot, and count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And that's exactly why you got to box him out, because when you don't, that's what happens. He burns you on the glass.
We've seen a few active players have their own podcast that they produce throughout the season. You think that's a good idea or a bad idea for them?
Again, I'm ambivalent to that because the landscape is so different now with the social media platforms. And I like the fact that players have a chance to control their narrative, their story, through the different social media platforms, the Players Tribune, podcast. Now, you have to balance that with your responsibilities and obligations to your team, your teammates, and your franchise. And so that's where it becomes a challenge, managing your time effectively and using it wisely. But clearly, players should have the opportunity to be fully engaged people beyond just playing the game.
And Chicago shooting a pedestrian 36% in the fourth quarter. The offense not doing their best work of late. Lopez a screen. Got a piece of it and taken away by Johnson. And Johnson with the stuff.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And league expansion is something that simply won't leave the conversation in the NBA right now. Clark, do you think that the NBA adding another team or two is inevitable?
I don't think it's inevitable. As a matter of fact, I think we're at a good number where we are, Kevin. It's still the best league in the world, and I think you could dilute that a bit if you added teams. So I'm fine with where we are.
Second free throw, no good.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
Oh, reversed it home. That was pretty.
Agreed. The agility on display.
Yes, sir. Power and grace. That had it all.
And it's the Bulls with the ball, following the score by Houston. Now here's Payne. He's guarded closely. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. And Baamute can't get it to go. And for the Bulls, they're shooting for the game at 42%.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win
for Houston.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And we have watched this team all season long play with such tenacity. With the wins piling up on the year, this will make it now 61 total.
A 2-game season series. They win them both and complete the sweep.
And, Greg, that's a nice feeling to get the sweep. Even though it is a small number, still nice to get that sweep.
And, you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for James Harden.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Now here's Johnson. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Timeout called, the Rockets. They lead. There's 49 seconds left to play here in the fourth. We've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, James Harden.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
And with their spot in the postseason assured, he's picking up just at the right time to be on top of his game. First free throw is good. Johnson hits them both. There's 49 seconds left in the game. Now here's Payne, defended by Paul. Lopez a screen. Holiday dishes to Lopez. The rebound by Anderson.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot that if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
Chicago with the ball. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. And the Rockets with possession here. The shot's good from Paul.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Big time. I mean, it's amazing. Their crowd letting them hear it, and that's always inspiring. They want to see this thing get wrapped up.
Paul with the steal. That's good from Johnson on the assist by Paul. And that's now 30 points for Johnson.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
As long as required, Greg. I mean, you can tell they want to put this thing to bed.
So we see Houston taking the W here. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks with Chris Paul. The playoffs are dead ahead. What are the areas of emphasis as you get yourselves ready?
Keep defending, playing at the right pace, and trying to make this a tough place to play. We really need our crowd and this energy, and we really feed off of them. But just trying to get ready game by game.
You're putting some good wins together, Chris. Thanks for your time. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you next time.